can then be rewarded. It also is nice because it represents a moralization of institutional design. The Health Impact Fund has a very simple principle. The health of every human being counts, and counts equally. It doesn't matter whether the patient you cure is rich or poor. You get money, you get reward on the basis of how much health improvement you bring to that patient, regardless of any further fact about that patient. The Health Impact Fund proposal does not oppose the establishment, the rich and the mighty. To the contrary, it is actually quite beneficial for at least one very important lobby, namely the pharmaceutical companies. They have some gain out of the $6 billion, and they also have reputational gains because they can now, for the first time, profitably do more for the developing world and poor populations. So they can hope for an image improvement. Obviously, pharmaceutical companies are skeptical and they have objections and so on, but I think this is at least the kind of proposal that pharmaceutical companies can make peace with, can live with. The Health Impact Fund proposal is scalable, which means that we can start relatively small with just $6 billion, and we can gradually increase the fund. For example, by additional countries contributing, or by countries contributing a larger share of their gross national product. Scalability is important for two reasons. One is that we can start small. It's easier to get to the creation of the Health Impact Fund. And secondly, it's also good that as we increase the size of the Health Impact Fund, we can learn from experience. So any mistake we might have made, any unforeseen problem, we can try to solve it before we make it bigger. The Health Impact Fund strengthens the people we want to strengthen, we want to give more voice and influence to, namely poor people. Poor people who are now weighed down by heavy disease burdens and enormous poverty will benefit the most from the Health Impact Fund and will be more able to fend for themselves, to defend their own interests. And finally, the Health Impact Fund is a model for reforms that can also work in other areas. It's replicable. So if the Health Impact Fund works well for pharmaceuticals, then, for example, we can also think of something like that for seeds, and can say anybody who has a new seed that avoids the use of pesticide or fertilizer or increases the nutrient yield of a crop, any such person should give that seed without a license fee to the whole world. Everybody should be able to use that seed, and the innovator should be paid on the basis of results, on the basis of nutrient yield increased, pesticide use reduced, and so on. Similarly, for green or clean technologies, if you have a good new green or clean technology, let the world have it for free, license it to everybody at zero cost, and get rewarded on the basis of the pollution that is reduced, emissions that are avoided. That way, innovators have an incentive to diffuse the new invention to everybody. As many people as possible should use it, and that without any increase in price. It's absurd that in many developing countries today, factories and power plants are built on very antiquated models, blueprints, because they don't want to pay the high price of new innovative technologies. It would be much better if we gave them the latest technology for free and then rewarded the innovator on the basis of emissions reduced. So the Health Impact Fund is a fertile reform. It's a reform that, if we can make it happen, will open the road for other reforms of a similar nature. Thank you.